Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakudash. Double honors be unto the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this 100% truth. Much peace and blessings be unto you, hopeful who like that to push not this word of thought, truth, and sincerity. To all you Akim say Shalom. The accurate iron from the servants Yahweh Yahushai Cam coming in with the quick video based off of image one of the Akim put up in the chat, which reads, the Salaki, bear with me. Our biggest fight day to day is a flesh versus a spirit, which that's heavy, man. All right, and remembering what the other Apostle Gabar, said, quoting from him in the scripture for everything, and that's true because your scriptures kind of mind when reading that the flesh versus the spirit. All right, and that's heavy, man. And if I can add on, when it goes into the spirit, that spirit resides within the mind. All right, the spirit resides within the mind. All right, your brain, if you will. So basically, making it mental. It's a mental battle. All right, now, ultimately, it's also physical. Read about Ephesians 6 chapter, verse 12 and 13. Going the principalities and dark powers and varying, it's like a varying of that. It's going into the spiritual demon Satan and his physical counterpart, Esau, Edom. But, in this case, we're talking about, these temptations brought to you by the spiritual demon Satan and the demons underneath him. So I can get a precept out in the book of Proverbs, the 21st chapter, verse 1, proving the point. The spirit resides within the mind. There's the book of Proverbs, the 21st chapter, verse 1, and it reads, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, which, king's heart, basically, in general, any man, all right, doesn't have to be a king necessarily, all right, because a king is still a man. So we're just referring to a man in general, which that word heart goes back to the Hebrew word lab, which means mind, all right, if I can get it out, a better definition to it. All right, that word heart means inner man, mind, understanding, inner part, the midst, soul, mind, knowledge, thinking, reflection, memory, inclination, resolution, determination, conscience. All right, so all these apply to what's known as a brain. All right, proving the point that this is a brain. So going on, it says, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. And the thing is, the brain, if I'm not mistaken, is composed of 80 to 90% water. Just like how our human body is composed of 70% water, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. Our brain is, mainly composed of water. So that's what it goes in when it says that the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So hey, all these things are descriptive and descriptive and perfect detail, if you will. All right, and that's one thing that these people of the world can't get. All right, they can't break down a simple precept. All right, because they ain't given the understanding. So that's an example of the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, because the Lord never revealed the understanding to them. All right, he kept it from them. Going to Job, slack the book of Job, the 12th chapter, verse 16, that the Satan and the deceiver are his. But digressing back, the main precept I want to get out, pursuant to the lesson, was the book of Matthew, the 26th chapter, verse 41, if I'm not mistaken. And it reads, watch and pray. Yeah, watch and pray. And there are tons of precepts proving the point that we gotta be sober-minded, all right? Basically meaning aware of our surroundings, physically and spiritually. We gotta be self-examining ourselves. And all that varying sort going on. It says that ye enter not to temptation, which that word temptation in the Greek, if I'm mistaken, it's pyrasmos. But the Greek pronunciations are all whack, which I'm gonna get it out right now, just in case I mispronounced it.
Strong's G 3986, pyrasmos. Pyrasmos.
All right, so it's pyrasmos. And basically means an experiment, attempt, trial, proving, if you will, which the Lord does that, all right? He's known for basically experimenting, attempting, and basically proving and setting forth trials, Alright, because ultimately out from the will of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shemel Shai. And just like going back to that word heart in the Hebrew, one of the definitions is will. Alright, which, proving the point that we have no free will. The king starts in the hand of the Lord, it's basically all up to the Lord's will. So it's all brought to you by the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shemel Shai. But going on, another definition of the word temptation is trial proving an enticement to sin. Temptation, such as being tempted, and being tempted basically meaning you're basically being persuaded and pressured to do something. All right, that's what these demons do by putting in these wicked ass thoughts in your mind. All right, it's vexing. It's basically affliction, if you will, mental affliction. So going on says, whether it's like temptation, whether arising from the desires or from the outward circumstances. All right, so of the condition of things or a mental state by which we are enticed to sin or to a lapse from the faith and holiness. Hey, so basically, it's a mental condition, if you will, mental battle. So reading the whole verse again, it says, "Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." All right, and one thing to add on is that our spirits are created righteous. All right, from the second that Yahweh Shai created us, lower with those men, we were created righteous. But as soon as we got cast into these, chains of darkness, we ended up going off, man. That's the Lord ordained it, to whereas we end up going off in this flesh, and that's why we need cleansing badly, man, and quickly. That's why we hasten the day of Yahweh Shai, out in the highways and hedges and doing these lessons and continue to just to hope for that very, chance of deliverance. And because what happens is that we're gonna get beamed up and changed in the twinkling of an eye into those spiritual bodies. All right, which ultimately that will usher in the new covenant. Basically the full version, if you will, because right now we're on a demo of the new covenant. All right, because we get to experience all the benefits, all the, the rewards and joys of it. But digressing back, it says the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. All right, this flesh being this body. And if I can get the word out for weak in the Greek, it's basically infirm, feeble, as a negative particle, and the base of Strong's C4599, which basically that Strong's 4599 basically means strength. So it's basically the opposite of it. So basically meaning strengthless, impotent, sick, without strength. And one thing also to mention, it's like for my rambling, is that we're technically all sick, man. Because if I'm not mistaken, sin is like a sickness. It's like a sin. That's why Yahweh Shai even said, "They that are sick, it's like they that are holding out the physician, but they that are sick." Which those, that was really talking about the elect, coming from a darkened state. So going on, the next place I want to get out will be in the book of James, the 1st chapter, verse 12. And it reads, "Blessed is a man," which, that word blessed, not everybody's blessed. All right, yeah, you got these wacky-tacky Christians and Eve out here that knows the truth. All right, and, and another example being Esau, Edom. They always have the audacity to say that they're blessed. Well, how are you blessed? What exactly do you have from the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shemel Shai, that makes you blessed? Or ultimately nothing, But blessed is the the blessed people are the elect. But digressing back, it says, "Blessed is a man, that endureth temptation," which that word endure basically means to patiently suffer, to remain, to tarry behind, abide, not recede or flee, to persevere. We're not supposed to recede or flee, because that shows a lack of faith, man. The scriptures say in Sirach, the 2nd chapter. Actually, I'm gonna get that out, So bear with me, Akim. It reads, bear with me, verse 1. Let's start with verse 1. It reads, My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him, cleave unto the Lord, and depart not away. We're not supposed to depart away from him, right? Going to and fro, tap dancing like Jake, would. Jake would when they're panicking. We're not supposed to be like that. We're supposed to be of a steady mind. All right, as cool as a cucumber, if you will. Hey, that's what the scriptures even say. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, because in these times that come, all right, when Jacob's trouble actually hits the climax, and you're gonna see Jake walking out, but we have to stay firm. All right, understanding that it's all planned out. We have to realize how what we have to do in order to actually, stay put. Digressing back, it says that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. Yeah, an example would be a low spirits. You're depressed. All right, you lack confidence. Since when you down, that brings sore. We're supposed to be patient when we're changed to that, man. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right, and you see how these precious metals, because that's what gold and silver are. They're precious metals that do not lose their luster or shine over really quickly. All right, like in water, they don't rust in water. Compared to other metals. So you see how gold and silver being tried in the fire, they remove their impurities. That's how we're being likened as to, man. So digressing back to James, the first chapter, verse 12, we're supposed to persevere. We're supposed to stay put. Blessed is a man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, all right, try, because the Lord always sets up these trials that and he's pleased with that when he sees his men enduring, which basically we're supposed to be a living sacrifice unto Yahweh Shai. So like to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai was a great sacrifice as well, but ultimately, since we're living his life, drinking of his same cup in this lifetime, we're being a living sacrifice unto the Heavenly Father as well. I get another precept, that be in the book of Psalms, the 116th chapter, verse 15. Which I'm mistaken is twofold, going into actual, back then when the prophets were being, persecuted, it was pleasing to the sight of the Lord. But also right here through the Spirit, applying it to being a living sacrifice and enduring everything. Hey, because another enticement of sin, being self-food would be wasting your time just slacking off. All right, you got that slothful spirit. We're not supposed to be like that. We're supposed to, we're here in this lifetime to actually put in that work. That's the whole point. If we're not gonna do that, it's time to hang up our hats, if you will. You don't belong here. If you're a prophet and you ain't doing the will of the Lord, you deserve to be in the spirit world, not in this part right now. All right. But Psalms 116th chapter, verse 15, it reads, "Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints." All right, see, and even to add on, Yahweh the Heavenly Father was pleased with the death of Yahweh Shai. All right, now the scripture say in the book of Isaiah, the 50-something chapter, he was pleased to bruise him. All right, Yahweh was pleased to bruise Yahweh Shai. But I just want to bring that point out. Going back to James 1 and 12 to finish it off, it says, "For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, referring to immortality." Because one thing to know is that, this promotes, these ways of righteousness, they promote life, compared to, being self-willed and taking heed to these philosophies and just basically, fulfilling the lust of the flesh, which ultimately is transgression of the law, a lot of them being adultery, an example. And that promotes death. All right. Whereas the ways of righteousness, they promote life. So for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. All right, let the man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of Yahweh, for Yahweh cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. And given the fact that I can come from a different past in life, We all have different, basically, traits, if you will, different qualities, different skills. An example would be in video games, how you got a character and create, character creation. You got a character with their ups and downs, their strengths and weaknesses. Each each of the Akim have their own strengths and weaknesses. So going into how every man is tempted when he's running away of his own lust. Akim can have a harder time doing something, whereas another Akim, basically finds it easy. So going on says, then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin when it is finished bringeth forth death. All right, to the point. That's what I just brought out. And because a lot of the pleasures of the flesh, they ultimately promote death. So then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin when it is finished bringeth forth desire, which that word lust basically means a heavy desire. Whether sexual, which a lot of the pleasures of the flesh involve a sexual desire, man. You know how Drake gets freaking wicked, if you will. Do not err, my beloved brethren. All right, so James is exhorting us to not go off when it says do not err. But I'm just going to end it off right there. With that being said, this video was edifying. Oh, Lord, will continue to push. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, and Washai, Ba'ashem, and Rachak, Kodash. The bonus be unto the apostles and others that great millstone who rule well and taught us this 100% truth. Much peace and blessings be unto you, O fool. Like that to push not this word of thought, truth, and sincerity. To all you welcome and say unto the next one, Shalom.